So we are live. Hello to everybody from Metz Theater. We have today with us the CEO from Velodyne Acoustics, Mr. Mansour Mamaghani. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me there. Thanks.
I really appreciate it that you always find time for us. And as you know, I was already tested the Deep Blue, where I was really find that this subwoofer was really amazing, and I like it a lot. And I decided to contact again Velodyne Acoustics and Mr. Mamaghani for test also the small subwoofer MicroVee X. That I have it here. Opla. Look how small it is.
Yeah, it's a very cute and small subwoofer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today we want to talk about it. And
yes.
We will discuss because I have a lot of questions. And it's really funny because I was on YouTube in last days, and I like always to watch videos from US home theater lovers. And there was one guy that have 18-inch subwoofer in one room. I say, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, there are some people who, never get enough from the bass. And yeah, we had even, in Germany, a customer who had the 1812. I don't know if you remember the signature 1812. And he had two of those in a room, which was not even 50 square meters. So actually, it was a killing machine. And if you play something like an organ or such a deep frequency, you couldn't stay in the room anymore. So it was really amazing. But this is the way that he likes to do it. And if they need a deep bass, we can deliver it.
Of course. So you know that I was testing the Deep Blue and for Italian customers because, okay, when I go live and things like that, I do it in English, but most of the things, reviews, I do in Italian languages. And I wanted to ask you my first questions about the Italian distributions. What happened so far, and if is still everything done from audio reference?
Yes, since we haven't found a right partner in Italy, we are still dealing with the dealers directly from Hamburg.
Okay.
And supply them products, and if there is some problems or if it's some service issues, be taken care right now from Hamburg and from Germany. But as I said, we are still looking for the right partners, and once we have it, we're gonna go online and promote that.
Okay, good. Okay, just to know, because I receive so many information regarding this. And of course, if it's still done from audio reference, so I think, should they contact audio reference, or because there are two emails? There is one from audio reference and one from Velodyne Acoustics.
Both. They can
both of them. Okay, super.
Both ways, and we can deal with them. And so we're gonna handle the dealers actually like they are in Germany. So it's no difference between the dealers in Germany and the dealers and the customers in Italy.
Okay, super. And regarding the new subwoofer MicroVee X, I know that it is not the first subwoofer from Velodyne Acoustics. There was already a small one. You can speak about it. What is an upgrade? Is a completely new?
Yes, I mean the MicroVee came out in the beginning of the year 2003, and it was the first generation. At that time, it was one of the smallest and powerful subwoofer you could buy in the industry. And at that time, we decide to make that with the metal body. So the cabinet is out of the metal. It's aluminum, one piece. And that was the first generation. And since that, nothing changed on the cabinet. So we have still the same cabinet. The last version, the X version, is a little bit, more smoother and make a little bit rounder. but all together the size is still the same, and the cabinet looks very, very similar to the previous one. Then we had the MicroVee Generation 1, then we had the MicroVee Mark II, and now the latest product you have in your hand, which is called MicroVee X, is the latest one. As you may remember last week as we talked, I said you are the first journalist dealing with that product, so it's going to be worldwide the first interview about MicroVee X and reviewing that you're going to make. So it's a very unique now that you have that product in the hand. So talking about the difference, as you could see, we have it in black matte, or is a piano white color, and the drivers are out of the carbon fiber, and not the only active driver. As you could see on the side, we have the 2 passive drivers, and all of them are out of the carbon fiber.
So maybe I can share the screen so we can take a look. One moment.
Sure.
You can see something? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Here we have it.
Yes.
So here is the subwoofer.
Yes, and you can see on the left and right we have the 2 passive drivers, and in the middle we have this active one. The new generation has a remote control, which the old one didn't have. So with the remote control, you can change, the volume, you can change the phase, you can, you see on the left hand the remote control.
This is something that I found good, because it's good when you are trying to do some setups and you just don't have to move your body from the couch for change something. You can do it directly there, and that's really good.
Yeah, it's make it much easier, and you don't need a second man to help you to set up the subwoofer into your system.
As I was told you that I already start to do, one moment, I have to come back here. This we can close it. Okay, here we go. That I already start to do some tests on the subwoofer.
Yes.
And as I told you that, of course, you don't have the power and dynamics of the Deep Blue that I was trying on my first review for Velodyne Acoustic. So I want to understand for who is designed this subwoofer, because there is people that need subwoofer for home theater. There are others that they have only stereo machines, and others that they are working with both. So what was the project, the initial project and design from Velodyne Acoustic?
Actually, as you see, and as I mentioned before, the size of the subwoofer is about 23 by 23 by 24 centimeters, which is very unique, and you could fit it in any kind of the systems. And if you have a living room and don't want to have a big box, no matter if it's a black or white, and then you don't want to have such a big square units in the corner, so you could use that one, which is for my knowledge, one of the best offers, something you can get in this price range. And definitely you can use that for the cinema rooms too, but I would suggest to use it 2, depending on the size of the room, maybe 4. So we know in the past with the MicroVee Mark II, several customers use that for the home cinemas, and mostly they use 2, but some they use 4, so they had it in 4 corners, the units, and sounds very impact and very good. Coming back to your questions regarding the Deep Blue and MicroVee X, I mean, what we did with the Deep Blue it's a great job, and I'm really proud to having such a small, if it's a Deep Blue 10, 12, 15, or even the 8, it's a really huge power that you can get out of the cabinets, and definitely the cabinets on the 8 is bigger, or 10 and 12 than MicroVee, and they have they could produce lower bass. But I would say the MicroVee X is very elegant, and it's a product that you could really put it as a kind of the art into your living room, and it's not really flashy, and it doesn't say, "Oh, I'm here, I'm a subwoofer," and show itself. So both products, they are good for certain of the place, and as I mentioned before, the MicroVee X is a product you can leave it in actually every living room.
And that is open, I think, interesting questions regarding the subwoofer position, because we see always that the subwoofer positions, we let it on the ground. I was doing some tests and trying to let it a little up. Maybe you can, I just took a chair, for example, and just leaving that a little more hike, and I saw that you still have a good bass. So the question is possible to, so the subwoofer has to be let it on the ground, or we can also, for example, put it like a bookshelf speaker inside our cabinet?
You can definitely lift it up. You could definitely try to find the best position. There is nothing that I could say, if you go up into the shelf, get a better sound, or if you have it on the floor, having better sound. It's always depending of the room, and the acoustic is a very complex situation, and nobody can say if you put it here, it's always good. So my suggestion is to try it, see what's the place, and what's the a place that the family accepted. I know that it's not always easy for the people to place the products into the living room, and then you have your family, your wife, your kids, and all, everybody use their room. So you have to be always get a compromise to make a best solution. But try it and see if you have a solid shelf which is not starting to vibration, which is is strong enough, you should try it. Why not?
So I didn't thought it was so vibrations. I didn't notice that I saw it was very stable. The only things that I want to understand, if the passive radiators that we will speak about it yet, they need space.
Definitely.
Or they need space.
Passive is actually to use the passive radiator is nothing that you could use the yes, it's
so here we have on the right 2 passive radiator,
right,
and the other one is here.
Yes, they are normally covered, and in the normal case you cannot take them up, but we send you one which you can take it to show and to try it. Normally it's glued, the grills are glued on the left and right side, and on the front you can take it off easily. And so definitely it's better to find a position which you have enough space on the left and right, so that the woofer, the passive radiator, could work easily and give you even more deep bass, because you are adding the square centimeters on the left and right into the front driver.
So we saw in other brands from mini subwoofer that they are doing also this kind of subwoofer. We know that Velodyne Acoustic was one from the first, that they don't use the passive radiators, but they use 2 cones, 2 drivers that are working in out of phase for create more stability. You can speak about the decision about to use a passive radiators in this MicroVee X.
Yeah, I mean, there are different concepts. You use the passive radiator like we do it. You could use a 2 active one, which works against each other. So there are a different way to play that, and it's always kind of the concept. We stay with our concept, which started, as I said, about 17 years ago, 18 years
Okay.
ago. You think it's the right way to do it, but it doesn't mean that the others are doing wrong or we doing only right. It's just a
Okay.
feeling and the concept and the way that the companies are trying to make the best out of that.
And then I want to ask you about the carbon fiber cones, because all three cones are carbon fiber.
Yes.
And one very interesting questions that about this, I always had these questions, but I was also looking online. I didn't find so many answers to these questions. We saw in the Deep Blue, and most of the subwoofer they have on the driver on the cones the dust cap.
Right.
But in this case, we have the cones. I will take it. That is like how we see here. It's clean, concave, like
Yes.
that. So the two questions is, what is the difference between a driver with dust cap and this type of driver? And the other questions is regarding the carbon fiber cones.
Yeah, the carbon fiber is a kind of the modern, not everybody use that. There are some companies using that, but it's much more costly than you go for the paper or aluminum or other kind of the material you could use. And first of all, you have more control if you have a carbon fiber. If you are willing to spend that money, there is much better way to reproduce the frequency through the carbon fiber. Not only that you can control the weight, the way that is installed, plus that you have better outcoming the heat, which you can go much faster out of the middle point, which is the spinner sit there, and the light, which the weight of the carbon is much better and easier for driving that. So, and then as you know, some of the products of Velodyne, they have this dust cover. So, and we are using now the inverter, which used to be always like this. Even the older generational MicroVee, they had these inverter coins, and some of the other products, they have this dust cover, like Deep Blue or DD Plus and some other products. It's just design how you want to, how do you like to do it.
Okay, understand. And we saw in the blue that you was using a AB class amplifier. So let's speak about what is inside the MicroVee X.
It's again AB. It's again AB.
Okay.
Yes. We think it's a nice way to make it. It's more high-end quality and more fidelity quality, and the sound which you can get out of the AB is normally, if you do it in the right way, is better. It is definitely more costly than if you go for a small chip as a digital amplification, but if you could make it on AB for certain of the products, I think it's the best way to do it.
Yes, I saw it with Deep Blue that I was, as you saw with AB, because most of the people were looking for the watts, for how much power it is, but it's not this that you have to look in a subwoofer and you notice.
No. I mean the watt is a very nice word to use, and it is not. The watt is not only the watt as a number, the part of the current which is going, the number of the voltage. These two items give you the watts, and so if you choose the right subwoofer with the right electronic, with the right power supply inside, you're gonna make it. And that's a kind of not a secret, but it's a very important part to know what you do, how you put those components together. Not only the cabinet, not only the driver, electronics. It's a lot of things comes together, and you have to find the best solution for that product.
And let's speak about the cabinet, because I have the feeling that is not. I mean, I don't know inside what did you use, but it's look like aluminum or is metal, something like metal, or
It is
because it's also
aluminium one
called
piece.
aluminum. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see this is, a piece which is goes like a bar, and they cut it just, in the lengths that we need it.
And we can see also here, I will speak about it also in the review. I don't know if you can see it, that we have auto power on and off. From here I was control the volumes. Then we have internal crossover and subwoofer direct. This I think you can enable or disable the crossover frequency, or?
Yes, it's depend, if you're going to use that for, if you have a surround processor, which you're going to control the crossover from your surround processor. So you turn it off, it doesn't go through the crossover inside the subwoofer.
Okay. And then we saw the other question that I was wanted to ask you is about the speaker line input. Let's take a look here. As we can see, this is the speaker line input. I wanted to know how this is working, because most of the time I saw in subwoofers that we have speaker line input and output. This one is when you want to cut the frequency between the front speaker and the subwoofer, and this way you use the internal crossover for the subwoofer, also for the front speaker. In this way, what is the benefit to have a speaker line input?
Actually, Velodyne is one of the only subwoofer manufacturer that they have this speaker line input since beginning. Even the very first products they made in the beginning of 80s, they had the same thing like we do it right now, and all of the products of Velodyne has it. You won't find any subwoofer line from Velodyne that they don't have it. And to answer your questions is easy to say, because you could use that for different kind of the product. For example, if you have integrated and you don't have any pre-output, so you want to connect that, so you can go parallel to the speaker lining post of your amplifier. Or if you have, for example, a pre-power, but you don't have a two pre-output, and you connect the subwoofer into the system, it's the same thing. So in this case, we have all the connectivities which is possible, and so you can go RCA, you can go in and out, you can go parallel to the speakers lining post. So this is a way that you can always integrate a Velodyne subwoofer into your system.
So I think with my questions, I've been ready for doing my review, and you want to tell us, is this subwoofer already available for to sell it, and retail price?
Yes, it's going to be available from next week. So as I said, you are you have a privilege to have the very first product and review it worldwide first. And it's going to be available from next week. The retail price is going to be 1,250 euro. And as I mentioned before, you can have it in piano white or black matte.
Okay, just wanted to note that it will be not a sponsor review. I asked Velodyne Acoustics to send me the subwoofer to test, and just I wanted to say it because it's important for my followers also to know that.
Yes.
What will be the plan? We was already we saw the deep blue. Now we will see the MicroVee X. I hope in the future to try also the other one. What's the name? You can help me maybe. The
VIQ or Impact
Digital
X.
Drive Plus. This one
digital.
also. I would like to test it because
that's a big brother. This is really a good one, and that is the highest product you could see from Velodyne Acoustics. Yeah, it's a very cool product, and definitely in the near future, we're gonna send you one and you could try
Thank
it.
you. And we was speaking the last time about the new SPL-X that I think is still in development, or
Yes,
you have
yes.
some news about it, or?
We have a little bit problem with, getting some parts. As you know, worldwide, there is a difficulty to get some kind of the chip
Okay.
and some kind of the products or parts and components. So we are still, little bit too late, but we're gonna, make it happen. But what we are already almost finished is the product called Impact X. This is the new generation on an Impact, and this product is going to be finished and ready to go in October. So about 2 weeks from now, we will have the first products coming in, and so the mass production started already. So we are hoping from mid of October to have the big numbers here to supply our distributors and dealers.
Okay, super. I didn't saw the Impact X. I think there is nothing online or that I can find.
Not yet.
Okay.
We just learn more about that, what we've done, because at the beginning of the year, we start to promote the SPL-X, and we thought, it's going to happen. But since this pandemic and the problem to get the components and things, so we said, okay, this time we're going to come out once we are finished with everything. And since we just start with MicroVee X, we said, okay, we're gonna let little bit time, maybe 2-3 weeks between introducing those products, and then we're gonna start it with the Impact X. Same thing with the VIQ, which we gonna be ready to go about, I would say November. This is a new product too. So then we have altogether 4 completely new lines with Velodyne Acoustics, which we, are very, very proud and happy to make that.
Okay, super. Because the most problem that I saw in home theater is regarding the room acoustic corrections. That is, I don't know why at low frequency is not working great. What I did, I don't know if it's a problem of the mic that is coming with the receiver, or I don't understand, or this software. I don't know what is exactly the problem that the receiver have, but most of them at low frequency is not working well. So what I did in my room is doing by myself with Room EQ Wizard. Then I put a DSP. I correct the low frequency before the calibration with the receiver, and the result was amazing.
Yes.
So I don't understand why the receiver is not able to do the same things.
I guess this is the kind of the power of the processor inside the receivers. Depending what kind of the receiver you're using, what kind of the processor you're using, you could have a good result or not such a good result. We do, dealing with Krell, we do the Meridian, and both of them, they have a very good, strong processor, which they could, handle difficult rooms too.
It's very important, because really it was changing the way how it sound it was really amazing how it was sound after that. I did first the manual calibration with DSP, and then after the normal one with my receiver. Anyway, we will see what will come in the future, and thank you very much, Mr. Mamaghani, for your time. And I will start to prepare my review of the MicroVee X, and see you soon. Thank you very much. Thanks to my followers. For any questions in Italian, no problem, just let it in the comments below and I will answer to you. Thank you and see you soon.
Thank you.